Welcome to Fitbyfood, where we outsmart binge eating without restriction. I want to talk about, in this video, the experience of wanting to binge on something, wanting to snack on something, and feeling like you are this endless pit of just cravings. You feel like you want to snack on something and it becomes a fixation. You realize that you're thinking about this thing and you feel like, I have to eat this. And then eventually you cave, because if you fixate on something and a belief comes that you have to have it, you're not really standing a chance. Especially if you are used to the diet trap, the diet cycle, which is you restrict your calories, so your body is in starvation mode, and then you try to use control and starvation limitation to control your eating habits. And it's basically like you are trying to control your body's survival mechanisms with willpower alone, and that never works. So the starvation triggers the fixation on something that gives you a lot of calories, because the body just wants to have fuel. And then if you fixate on that thing that you have in your cabinet, then let's say it's a bag of chips and you are trying to not eat the bag of chips and you fixate on it. And the thought comes back again and again, and then eventually you cave. And maybe you eat the entire bag, but afterwards you still feel an ache of wanting to shove down something else. And that endless pit, that feeling of I have to eat something, I have to consume something else, that is not hunger, and that is very important to realize. This is not hunger, you know this. If you think logically, you might have eaten dinner, or maybe you've starved yourself, and then eventually the caving in of eating the bag of chips takes over, and then maybe you do have room in your body for more, but it's this, you know that you should and could balance it out. You could fast and survive, but it's this feeling of I have to eat something else or I'll die. And this is a tricky part of your subconscious that is convinced that you have to eat, you have to consume food, because it gives you a distraction. It's a way to dissociate. So just telling yourself no and trying to put frameworks on top of this behavior in form of, no, we're not going to eat that now, doesn't work. Especially if you are in this trap of having the extremes, the starvation and then just wanting to consume something. An alternative could be here that you keep the extremes, so the starvation and the binge, to a leveled playing field. And that you do by focusing on a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet. It allows you to binge whenever you want without having guilt, without gaining weight, because the body naturally balances it out. Foods that are high carb, low fat, plant-based have a lot of volume and very low calories. This makes it so that your body, your stomach, becomes very full. So it sends signals to your mind that says that we are very full, and you might even get this feeling that you get that you're wanting when you are reaching for food, the really stuffed feeling. And this is based on a concept called calorie density. This means we can't see how many calories something has just by looking at it. We have to get the nutritional knowledge. And once you have this knowledge, you can biohack your coping mechanism so that you can eventually reach your ideal weight. And imagine this. So you have periods where you're binging, you feel like you have to eat something, you get that hunger, that void, that emptiness that just wants to be shoved down. You want to distract yourself by eating something. And you now have the knowledge on what to eat, what to choose from. And that knowledge has made you buy certain groceries in your kitchen, so you have them easily available to you, so you know that if I get the craving, if I get that coping mechanism trigger, then I can reach for whatever I have in my kitchen and be okay. I'm not damaging my body, quite the opposite. It gives it nutrients so that the body can thrive. So what this gives you is that you have a variety of forgiving food items that are great, that are good for your body, your health, and they make you go down in weight even though you are eating in an abundance. And it sounds too good to be true, and it's not. It's just that we're not eating this way as a mainstream thing. We have to get taught that this is a possibility. And this is what I do here at Fitbyfood. I show you this alternative diet that is very forgiving and very healthy, gives you the dream body, but the only thing you need to do is take a bit more responsibility when it comes to choosing the food items. On the getfitbyfood.com website, I have a module 1 where we talk about the nutritional aspect, the knowledge that you need to change to a high carb, low fat, plant-based diet. So on the website there is a 40 plus lessons on this so that you get the knowledge you need in your toolbox. So you can take more empowered decisions when it comes to this coping mechanism. Don't let it run the show anymore. If you make the smallest change, just changing the foods that you binge on, then you get a completely different outcome. You shift your entire reality. The only thing is that it takes time. You need to choose these new food items for a period of time in order to get results. For me it took a year without working out, just choosing these food items, and I dropped down to my ideal weight. I lost 20 kilos, so I think like 40 pounds. It took a year, a whole year of me choosing the new food items and binging whenever I needed. I think like in the beginning I ate too much almost like every day for the complete year, but I still lost weight. And this is what I want for you as well. I want you to have the knowledge of why it works, what to choose from, and get this initiation into healing your relationship to food. Realizing that you can eat in abundance, you can use the coping mechanism if you want, but still lose weight. Because plants are much more forgiving. And there's a reason behind this. It has to do with, like I mentioned, calorie density, and we go into carbs, protein, fats, and the reason for this much more in detail in module 1. So thank you for watching, and remember, it is possible to get fit by food.